What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to improve your deep ball, how to improve your deep ball accuracy, your arm strength, and we're going to be breaking down Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Rosen, and what goes into a good deep ball. Let's get started. So first off, we're going to be breaking down Mahomes. Now, the main thing I want you to see here is we're going to watch this throw full speed. This is one of his 80-yard bombs that he throws. How well his hip goes through this ball and what his shoulders are doing, okay? So let's rewind this thing here. So when he gets ready to throw, the main thing I want you to see is his shoulders get on this 45-degree angle. That's a mistake I see a lot of guys make. They're very flat and they try to push this ball up in the air. I don't want to be flat. I want to get my shoulders on this 45-degree angle, as you can see right here, get a nice arc, but my base stays the exact same. The only thing that changes is my shoulders, okay? That's the main thing that needs to change when I'm using a deep ball. Now, the same mechanics that we talk about. You want to drive off the inside portion of your back foot. You want to get this front leg in the ground to create some torque, and you want to get your hip to come through the throw first, right? So as you can see, he's driving off there. And now his shoulders are at that 45-degree angle, right? So he can rotate up and over the throw. When this back hip comes through, that's going to traject the ball to go up in the air and have that nice arc that we all love to see, right? So as you can see, this back hip is coming through the throw first. He's got a slight bend in this front leg. That's another thing I see. Another mistake I see quarterbacks make is they extend with this front leg. Everything shoots up, and the ball goes only about 20 to 30 yards, right? We got to keep a slight bend when we strike the ground here. We got to drive up the inside portion of our back foot, and we got to get our hip coming through first and our shoulders at a 45-degree angle. Now, we're going to talk about the follow-through. This is how you help with your accuracy. You want to extend almost like you're shooting free throws, guys. He keeps this left arm somewhere in front of his face to keep torque, okay? We don't want to lose our torque on a deep ball. I see a lot of quarterbacks over-rotate on a deep ball. They take this left arm and they swing it down, and they're opened up square to this throw. That's not what I want. I want to keep this left arm nice and closed, somewhere in front of my face like I'm eating a sandwich. Then I want to take my right arm and extend at the top of the throw. I want to turn my wrist out. We're going to break down Aaron Rodgers, how well he does that. He's probably one of the best at it. That's why his deep ball is so accurate. But we're extending at the top of the throw like we're shooting free throws, and then we're rotating all the way through with our back shoulder on the target, okay? So we're going to watch this thing full speed again. Shoulders, drive, strike the ground with the bent knee, get that hip coming through first, left arm in front of your face to keep torque, and then extend at the top of the throw. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Dropping back, drive off this back leg, hip through, extend at the top, get that nice arc, nice trajectory on this throw. It's a great ball. Okay, so now we get an up-close look at Russell Wilson. Now, the main thing I want to talk about here, guys, is how on a deep ball, we got to throw it with air. You're going to see this example, and you're going to see how well Russell Wilson uses air. But the main thing that a lot of quarterbacks see, that a mistake that they make, is they sit back in this pocket and they wait, and they try to throw this deep ball on a line. That's not going to fly when you get to a higher level. When you got fast receivers, you can't wait. They're going to outrun your arm. I don't care how strong your arm is. I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if you have the weakest arm in the NFL. We got to get the ball up quick, right? So we're going to see Russell Wilson understands that concept. How do we get air on this throw? That comes from your shoulder trajectory, your hip coming through this throw first, and you rotating up and over this throw and extending your follow through, okay? So Russell Wilson's bringing this thing back in slow motion. Now you can see, keeps this left arm somewhere in front of his face. He doesn't swing it out, okay? Doesn't swing this ball up. Now, his shoulders are on this trajectory. His hip's coming through first. That's the one thing. That's the first thing that I notice. And the shoulders are arched. Your hip comes through first. That's going to give you trajectory on the ball, right? Now let's look at his follow through. Extending it up in the air. His hand leaves the screen. He's shooting free throws with that opposite hand, turning that palm out, as you can see right here. That's exactly what I want in a deep ball. That's perfect deep ball mechanics right there. Shoulders on a 45-degree angle, flick that wrist at the top. Now we're going to see this ball. Now we're going to watch this thing from a different angle, full speed, and you're going to see how much air. You see the air and have it drop right in the receiver's bucket. That's the concept of air. We're going to watch this from another angle. You see the amount of air that he puts on this ball. Because now this receiver's catching it, right? If he would have waited and tries to throw this thing on a line right here, DB's making a play on it all day. It's flat. He's throwing this ball. When this receiver's at the 50, he's getting this thing up early and dropping it right on this spot, okay? That's what we need to do, guys, on a deep ball. We need to get this ball up soon. Air is your friend. We want to have this ball, like if you're watching film on Huddle, right? You want that ball to leave the screen when you throw a deep ball, because that shows you got enough air. But you got to have quick feet in the pocket. Here, let's rewind this and look at Russell's feet. Drop back, lets this ball fly. Lets this ball go early. He doesn't waste time. He doesn't sit back here and sit in his pocket and chatter his feet. He gets this ball up right now, lets this guy go run it down. That's a great ball by Russell Wilson, understanding the concept of air. Let's watch this full thing one more time. Shoulders rotate up and over the throw. Let's watch it again. Rotating up and over, extend that follow through, rotate all the way through with that back shoulder on the target. Perfect amount of air. Drop it right in the bucket. Let's see it again. quick hitch, get this ball up early, air, let my guy go run it down. That's a great job by Russell Wilson. Okay, so now we're going to be breaking down Aaron Rodgers. Now, the main thing I want to talk about here is this throw, okay? Drops this thing right in the bucket. This is one of the best throws that I've ever seen, and we're going to break down what makes this thing so special. So, in the pocket, right? I want you to see his shoulders. What I talk about with the shoulders, almost on this 45-degree angle, right? Driving off the inside portion of his foot, he's keeping his toes down through the throw. What does that do? That keeps a bend in this leg. You can't not have a bend in your feet and your leg if you extend on that front foot and you don't have your toes down. Guys go heel-toe a lot. They strike the ground with their heel first. That's what shoots up this base. We got to be able to keep this nice, strong base, okay? And again, shoulders are going back as he's driving off this inside portion of his foot. What does that do? That makes his hip come through. His hip comes through first, and because his shoulders are on a 45-degree angle, the ball is going to rotate up and over this throw, okay? And again, cutting the target off. He's not stepping super wide and having his hips go way out of his frame. Cutting the target off with this lead leg to generate some torque, keeping this left arm nice and tight somewhere in front of his face, as you can see when he rotates through. He doesn't take this left arm and he doesn't swing way the hell around on this thing. Keeps it somewhere in front of his face. Now, we're going to talk a lot about the follow-through. That's why Aaron Rodgers is so accurate with the deep ball. That's why his Hail Marys are some of the best. That's why he's able to fit the ball in such a tight window, because this follow-through is like he's throwing darts, or if you want to think about it, shooting free throws, guys. That's what we need on a deep ball. We got to have everything good with our shoulders. We got to be driving off this back leg. We got to keep our base, and we got to rotate up and over with this hip, and we got to extend with our follow-through, extend straight out, flick our wrist right at the target, and get some air on this ball to make it accurate, and that's exactly what this does. And look what he does with that back shoulder. He rotates all the way through on this throw. That's what I need, guys. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming out, rotate all the way through, and you see the air, drops it right in the bucket in tight covers. That's a great job by Aaron Rodgers. Okay, last throw we're going to be breaking down here, guys, is going to be from Josh Rosen at the Combine. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, Josh Rosen's not an elite quarterback, whatever. I really don't care. He has some of the best mechanics from a quarterback out of a draft class that I've seen. You cannot debate that his mechanics aren't good. And he threw a great deep ball in college. I think if he gets with the right team, he's going to be a lot better, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show you guys how to improve your deep ball mechanics. Now, when he's taking this hitch, this clip's in slow-mo. You're going to see his base get super close together here, okay? But his cleats are out of the ground, right? When he starts to drive off this back leg here, now his base is in a good position, right? His feet are a little bit angled in, his knees a little bit angled in. He's pushing off the inside arch, right? But he's in a good balanced base right now. His feet are just outside of his shoulder. On the hitch, they got a little close together. If I was coaching him, I would change that. But I'm not going to try to I'm not going to make such a big deal out of it because cleats are out of the ground. But when he starts to drive off this back foot, that's when he's in this powerful base. That's what I need to see right here. When your cleats are in the ground, you need to have a nice wide base. That's a fact. Got to have a good base when our cleats are inside on the ground. So you could see pushing off the inside portion of his foot. You could tell by the way his shin angle is, right? It's almost on this 45, right? I'm not going to be too particular about the shin angle, right? Because it's a little too complicated. I just want to make sure we're pushing off the inside arch of our foot, and that should take care of it. I don't want this leg straight up and down and all of our weight is on this back foot. You want to be about 60% on this back leg, 40% on this front leg, right? So driving off the inside arch of his foot. Let's watch this front leg. How does he strike the ground? What hits the ground first? Is it his heel or is it his toe? It's his toe, right? Toe hits the ground first. Slight bend in the front leg. That's ground force right there, guys. Everything that you see right here, that is ground force. That's the number one key to improving your arm strength, ground force. Then the second key is rotational force, okay? So he's got ground force. His rotational force, he's bringing his shoulders back while the ball is in this opposite L. Your front leg should be in the ground. That's just a fact. Now, his rotational force is this hip coming through, okay? But I want you to see his shoulders. Where are his shoulders? 45-degree angle, am I right? Bringing that hip through, shoulders on a 45, so he's rotating up and over the throw. His hip is all the way through. The back of his foot is almost pivoting. It's facing something as if he had a target behind him. The ball is trailing his hip, right? And now I want you to see the extension. Look at this arm. Extending at the top of the throw like he's shooting free throws, keeping a slight bend in this front leg. He's got a tennis background. That's why I think his mechanics are so great. And then he's rotating all the way over the throw. A little off balance with that front leg, right? Kind of shape falling out of this throw, but he's rotating on this throw, gets that front foot in the ground, keeping that ground force and keeping that rotational force. That's a great job by Josh Rosen. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So coming out, cleats are in the ground. Now he's got a wide base. Get that hip coming through. Rotate up and over the throw. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please leave in the comments any questions you guys might have. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll see you guys next time.